I go out in the street with a meat cleaver and the police are all out there waiting for me. I take the step, bang, shoots me at close range in the chest, near the heart, drops me. I'm lying outside my house on the streets and the bullet has ripped through my internal organs and everything is on fire. Nobody really wants to take their life, brother. They just want the pain to stop hurting in here.
Young soldier of God, steady march.
All right, yo, it's your boy Dave here, and this is the Fallon Show. Hope all is going well out there. God bless you all. How about you introduce yourself, my brother, and where you're from?
Kia ora te whānau e tiwi. My name is Rob Mokaraka, and on my father's side, I'm from the far north through Ngāpuhi. That's our tribe, and on my mother's side, I'm from Waikaremoana, from the mighty lake. And so that's Ngai Tūhoi, Ngāti Ruapani, and Ngāti Kahungunu ki Wairoa. So, yeah, two sides of the whānau, bro, but grateful to be here.
Awesome, brother. The brother Rob, man, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, bro, to jump on the show and have a bit of a kōrero and share your story, man, which is just an awesome story, brother. How's your day going anyway? How's your morning going?
Mine's going good, slow, bro. I've just done 4 of my presentations, which is like physical, emotional, spiritual, CrossFit. So you don't just get to hear it, bro. You see me sweat everywhere. You feel the emotions. You feel the weight of it. And so I've got to really look after myself, bro. But now I've got a few days off. So I'm just going to keep refueling.
Nice, brother. Nice. So, yeah, so we actually met just the other week through another close friend of both of ours. And I got to witness, you know, his testimony in the flesh, sort of like a interview type setting. And even just through that, brother, you can see that you really put your emotion into it, like a CrossFit exercise, brother. I guess that's how you stay looking so young.
I'm an old man pretending I'm youthful, pretending I can still leap around.
Yeah, no, so the brother actually just has an awesome story. So he has it's called Shot, bro, where he travels around the motu and even in Australia, and he shares his personal story of redemption. You know, even in he's been to Melbourne there in a few of the prisons, you know, over here he goes to, you know, maximum security prisons, also corporate type settings as well, you know, so this guy mixes it up with a lot of different settings. But again, it's an awesome testimony. It's a heartbreaking testimony of you know, abuse leading into well, it all culminated a few years ago now, back in 2009. I read where he was, you know, the brother Rob here was actually involved in a siege. It's sort of, I guess, just the mental traumas and everything culminated into that one night where there was a police siege. And well, we will go into this, but basically he was shot by the police in the heart as well. So I mean, he's definitely here for a reason, that's for sure. And he's living it, he's breathing it. And yeah, no, again, thank you for jumping on the show, brother. So I guess to start, my bro, so where does the story begin, my bro?
Well, gosh, I'll tell you where the rebirth happened, which looked like a suicide attempt, which it was. So 2009, July 27th, I have a massive public mental and spiritual breakdown. Now, I'm an actor, writer by trade, so I was doing theatre overseas. I did a little bit of TV, a little bit of film, but mainly theatre because I like the live aspect. But anyway, bro, I had this emotional breakup with this wahine, with this woman. It wasn't a very healthy relationship, but that emotional breakup triggered a lot of stuff that happened to me in my whakapapa, in my whānau history, which I didn't know what it was. And all I knew was all the shame, guilt, and failure started to swirl around me. And I started to think, I'm a piece of shit. I deserve to be dead. It's not the first time, bro. It's one of many times to trigger the past. So in 2009, July 27th, I called the police upon myself. And in a storm of suicidal ideation, because I was hurt, angry, scared, confused, I described myself. I said, someone's broken into my house. What does he look like? I described myself. Then I said he's armed, because I really wanted a violent death from the police because I thought I deserved it. And as a little kid growing up, I used to see the police shoot Māori on the news right or wrong. And I thought, I'm a Māori, this should be easy. Police shoot Māori. So because I had an emotional breakup and I slept with another woman to get out of this crazy relationship, which made it even crazier, I was swirling, bro. Massive storm. I get dressed up in some military gear from a theatre show I was in 1 month earlier about World War II, about Māori in war in Italy. World War II. Now I'm dressed up like a Māori in battle, and I go out onto the street with a soup ladle and a tea towel to look like a gun. I go out in the street with a meat cleaver, and the police are all out there waiting for me. And I was like, angry, hurt, scared, confused. And I'll share this, bro. I was just pumping myself up to be shot to death. And then I started to get a little bit tired because it's tiring being angry for ages. And I'm like, oh man, hurry up. Where's the police? They're not coming into my house. I better go out and see where they are. They'd blocked the street off. The cops have blocked the street off. I go out on the street and far out, I'm yelling, looking pretty crazy. The police, there's two officers, one's behind the tree. He's got a Glock 9mm pistol. He's pointed it at me. Next to him is a police car with another officer with a Glock 9mm pistol. And one of the cop behind the tree is yelling out, what's your name? What's your name? He's trying to reach out to me. And I say, yeah. So in my mind, I'm going, don't tell him your bloody name. Don't tell him anything. Don't tell that cop anything. And then this little kid inside of me goes, Rob. My name's Rob. And I was like, why the hell did you tell him your name, you soft cock? It's like I'm fighting my own demon, my own taniwha inside. And then this cop goes, what's in the tea towel? Because it looked like a gun. And I said, you know what's in the tea towel. Then the cop said, don't take another step. And I thought, awesome, I'm going to be dead. Let's get out of here. I take the step, bang, shoots me at close range in the chest, near the heart, drops me. I'm lying outside my house on the street, and the bullet has ripped through my internal organs, and everything is on fire inside of me because of the bullet. It's burning. It's sizzling my internal organs. And bro, at that time when I'm lying on my street outside my house, I'm going, I've made a bloody terrible mistake. And what I know from going around the country in Australia since then is nobody really wants to take their life, brother. They just want the pain to stop hurting in here. They want the pain that they're holding on to, that they're scared to talk about, to stop. Now, when I hit the deck, bro, and I was lying on, all the cops come around me, and I was yelling out to them to shoot me in the head. It's in the middle of the day, bro, Point Chevrolet, Auckland. I could see lying on the ground in pain. I could see people looking out their windows, bro, looking at this crazy guy on the street with the police around him. And I was yelling out, shoot me in the head, because, man, the fire inside my internal organs was out the gate, bro. My mind could not comprehend the burning inside of me, like a fire that wouldn't stop. But obviously, it's a broad daylight. I'm in the middle of the neighborhood. I don't get shot in the head. Bro, rushed to the hospital. Multiple court cases, multiple surgeries. And then my whānau gently insisted I see a shrink. So, yeah. And ironically, bro, seeing the shrink helped me unpack all the stuff that happened to me within my own whānau. Sexual abuse, violence around alcohol, violence around whānau gatherings, and just that you thought was normal to see blood flying and uncles and aunties smashing each other. And anyway, it seems like quite normal, and it's not a competition, but, you know, some people have it worse, some people have it less. I suppose it's perspective, bro. Hurt is hurt. And if we do not unpack it, it follows us, and it follows our kids and our grandkids. So that's me in a nutshell, my bro. That's why I do what I do around Australasia, because I don't want brothers and sisters to kill themselves.
Wow, brother, that is such a powerful story, like you said, just in a nutshell. And it is so true. I mean, even when you look around the motu now, hurt is hurt. You know what I mean? You see people, I've seen people, you know, middle class, upper middle class, some of these youths still being involved in crime. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter, you know what I mean, where they're from, what area. It's just hurt is hurt. You know, when they're going through things, they will lash out, you know, and it's just it's really stepped up a bit here in New Zealand anyway amongst the youth, you know, and things like that. So I guess, you know, what you're doing and what we're all doing is fighting the same battle, most definitely, brother. I mean, what can you go into sort of the had you ever seen a shrink or anything like that beforehand, bro? Had you ever?
Wow, bro. So this is going back. So I was 36 when this happened, but the public mental breakdown. When I was 21, I tried to take my life 3 times in one day. I didn't realize there's all this unresolved trauma from my childhood. So I was put in a psychiatric unit, King Seat, which is nice.
Right.
I put in King Seat. That's pretty notorious.
Pretty notorious.
Mental health psychiatric units in the country. So I was put in there for just a little while, just because I hadn't been sleeping for 48 hours, and I had a siege with the police. That was the first time I had a siege with the police. So it was like a precursor to 2009. So my whānau sent me to a shrink, but I didn't trust anyone, bro. I didn't trust anybody. So I just told the shrink what I thought he needed to hear so I could get out of there, and my whānau would just leave me alone. So that when I was 21. So that's the first time. And I've seen about 4 shrinks since then, bro. And I felt like all of them needed to see a shrink themselves.
Yeah, that's right, bro. That's right. Yeah.
I'm sitting in the seat going, I ain't going to tell you shit because I don't believe you. I don't believe you know anything about trauma. I don't believe. And so, but it was the last one I saw in Whangarei, Dr. John Hall. And I finally just sort of sat into it. I went, oh, this cat seems all right. He seems a little bit real. And it took me a long time, bro, to open up. I didn't realize that he was there to help me. I just thought he was there to judge me. But and I say this to everybody, bro. You have to step outside your whānau, Porangi, crazy river to get the help you need. Because the current back in your ancestry goes so far back, you don't know how deep it is. And you can't heal from the same river you're born from. So the good thing about seeing a shrink eventually was we weren't related, bro. I could talk about my crazy whānau history and I wasn't yelled at. I wasn't dismissed. And I could have a cry, bro. Sweet, have a cry and not be judged. I was out of it. But I didn't realize, bro, I was waiting for him to give me the magical cure. Give me the magical cure so I can get out of here. Bro, I didn't realize I was the cure. I had to put in the mahi to work my way through the unresolved trauma.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, man. So so you did have, so there was a bit of a precursor then when you were 21 and things like that. But can I ask, man, so what's sort of like in that industry, bro, like the acting sort of industry and things like that? Is there much stresses in that life as well, brother?
Bro, there's a whole industry full of smoke and mirrors, Gus. So when I explain, my shrink goes to me, explain what you do. Tell me a little bit about your environment, your work environment. And I just went blah, 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 this and that. And he goes, by the sounds of it, sounds like your environment is bipolar. Add your depression, your anxiety, and your own bipolar traits, that you can see why it would escalate. So you got to understand, bro, in a Western context, acting is like portraying other people's personas. But if you look at it through a spiritual lens, you're channeling wairua, you're channeling spirit and emotions. And if you're not looking after yourself, which is the conduit, you will be lost out into the ocean. And it takes a long way to come back. If you don't have a framework, a spiritual, physical, practical practice to launch from and return to. And the industry don't really have that. They're all about, let's get to the shiny palace so you can be amazing. And we'll put all these bright lights and all this accolades around you. But do they really give a shit about you? Yes and no. When you're done in that shiny arena and you're not so shiny, do they care about you? Not really. So every environment is everything, bro. Not just the entertainment and arts industry. There's heaps of faking and pretending. And if you're constantly in that environment and you're swirling yourself, you stay sick or become even more sick.
Yeah, Far out. Yeah, and you put that well, I guess, about channeling, you know what I mean, different wairua and things to something that I've heard other actors mention as well. Oh, how long did that take, brother, to really unpack and to really get on to, you know, shop, bro, and what you're doing now?
Well, I was writing in hospital. I was trying to write short stories about why is Rob Mokaraka up? Why is Rob Mokaraka lying in a hospital room with cops around him, as if I'm going to leap out of my bed? I've got my guts cut open from my belly button just below my chest, so it's wide open, bro. I can barely move. I'm in pain 7 days a week, 24/7. So for once, bro, I'm extremely present. I can't hide in the past. I can't hide in the future. I am present, and it hurts to be present. And so I'm writing in hospital because I'm a writer and an actor, and I'm trying to write poetry. The quickest way to get out hurt. What is this crap? Why am I like this? Why is the police here? And so I stored all this writing away. Seeing the shrink helped, but bro, it was just the beginning. All this for me, this is how I felt. The shrink was just planting tools, and I had to learn how to hold them. And I didn't know how to hold. I was a bit clumsy to start with. So over 7 years, I sporadically tried to create little pockets of shop, bro. So my mates helped me have little private performances, and it wasn't me. I'd hire other people or ask other brothers and sisters to play the characters that were in my mind. And actually, a lot of my Polynesian whānau came and helped me. Writers, actors, directors. It was really awesome to have my Māori Samoan and Tongan whānau come around me and try and help me spew this out in a way that would be healthy. But I was stuck. My trauma was stuck. I was stuck. So it took 7 years, bro, on and off, to try practice talking my trauma into the light.
Wow, far out. So yeah, it is a long journey, and like you said, like even with me, you know, obviously I did counseling like in prison and things like that, and they did give me the tools at the time, but it wasn't, looking at it now, it wasn't really, well, you know, in my faith, when I found God, that I was able to finally use those tools. You know what I mean? I needed that spiritual, which I guess, you know, even though seeing the shrinks and that are good, they don't bring that spiritual side into it. A lot of them, they're missing that part, which I believe is so crucial. You know what I mean? Especially in the prison setting and things like that. If they brought that into the picture, it just really changes the game, you know. Well, that's my opinion. How important do you think it is, you know, in you know, your own like walk of you know, rebuilding and things? Like, because for me, it's so connected with rebuilding relationships with family, you know what I mean, with parents. I think it's so important for me. Repairing those relationships really helped me. That was a huge step for me in my own walk, you know what I mean, is rebuilding those relationships, even though there is a lot of trauma, there's, you know, a lot of things there. But how important do you think that is?
I think it's really important, bro. And on my own journey, I'll speak for myself. Some of my whānau caused that trauma, but I still love them. And it took me, as I started to heal myself, I started to realize they were acting with the only tools they had. So forgiveness, I'm coming into the realm of forgiveness. Forgiving, learning to forgive them, learning to forgive myself. Learning to forgive self is also a big part of the healing journey, which is ongoing. But you're right, bro, with whānau, with families, that forgiveness and showing love and reciprocating that love that perhaps maybe was severed through trauma, that's a big part of the healing. But also to be aware that some family members never want to heal. So don't keep banging at that door. All I do is present the healing tools, the gifts of my love that I'm ready to help and receive. And when they're ready, they'll turn up.
Yeah.
And,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there. Yeah, for sure. What can you sort of talk about what you're doing currently, what it is like going into those prisons, the sort of people that you that you speak to and things like that, brother, and you know, your first experiences walking into a prison, how was that?
Well, so what happens to me in my life journey, I sometimes add into the shop, bro, kaupapa. So it's like a theatre show /seminar /presentation /CrossFit session. So, bro, I tell you, I use this example in shop, bro. So in 2017, because I just started my shop, bro, journey of looking at my trauma, which has a lot of humor in it. So it is funny, dark, real, educational. And as soon as I get the bros laughing, that's when I can start putting the medicine in. And so 2017, I'm invited into Rimutaka prison by a Māori wahine psychologist into Unit 9, Te Whare Manaakitanga Violent Offenders Therapy Unit. And I'm shitting myself, bro. I'm shitting myself because I think, what if the bros in that unit think I'm all shit? What if they think my whakaaro, my philosophy is all shit? Because my whakaaro and philosophy is the light can dissolve the darkness meaning trauma. So I was really shitting myself because I'd never been inside a prison before. And I was just learning how to stand in my truth and my trauma. So it was all new to me. But all I knew was I want to help save a life. But I wasn't even thinking about, well, you're going into a bloody intense environment to start it off, bro. But just because I could have been in prison, bro. If it wasn't for some key people, I would have been in prison. But those brothers, they welcomed me into their unit, so they gave me a mihi whakatau through their waiata, through their whai kōrero, and they did this mean haka for me. And my sound technician, there's always two of us. My friend Edina, who's my director, I was like, I could see a tiny bit into their hearts. Was I nervous? Was I scared? Yep. So I'm going to sit back a little bit. So in the first 5 minutes of my every presentation, no matter where I am, see this heart shape here? I give these out to the community in the front row. In the first 5 minutes after I do my intro, once we have a karakia. And so imagine me going up to these big, tough brothers in Unit 9 in 2007. And then some of them are like looking at me like, fuck off. And then that's okay. Then I go, I'm not sure if I'm swearing, and then I go up to another bro and he goes, I'll take that. Another bro, I'll take that. But there was one big black brother. He was right in the front row. He was giving me the stares. And I thought to him, maybe I'll break the tension. I was like, no, look. And he just goes. And I was like, oh, shit. Don't focus on that, bro. Focus on the other 27 brothers. But, bro, because I'm a little bit crazy myself, I just thought, be brave, Rehoa. Be brave, Rob. You come here to save a life. More aroha, more light. Let's go. So I thought this could be the only prison they allow me to present and make the most of it, you crazy Māori. So I made eye contact with the very big bro in the front row. And I give, this is what I say in my show, because it's true, bro. This is all true. I give him my sparkling, charismatic eyes, indicating I'm coming over. And we just maintain eye contact, bro. And I'm walking over very slowly, bro. I'm talking, taking my time, getting towards the bro. And in my mind, all I think is, please don't break me into. Please don't break me into. Straight up. I get to the big bro and I'm like, and he freaks me out, bro. He goes, and I was like, oh, shit. Bro, I'm like, oh, shit. And we're in a very small unit. So there's nowhere to go. We're in lockdown. And I'm trying to breathe, bro. I'm just trying to calm my spirit, my mind. I'm just trying to calm my breath. And then I left it at that, just relieved that he didn't grab me, break me in two. But what I got out of that, bro, is the way that I run a shop, bro, is it's a tikanga Māori framework, which is tika pono aroha. So yes, it's correct. Yes, it's truthful, but it's very compassionate. So it's non-judgmental. So when I had my wānanga, in that unit, I remember the old school dogs stood up from the back and they stood and they spoke from the heart. It was dark, it was raw, it was real, but at least it was honest, it was truthful. Just a little bit from the heart in that very toxic environment, which you know, bro, prison. They said to me, bro, it's tough to speak like you speak because we might get stabbed up in here or beaten up. But I was in awe of the courage of those brothers in that unit, bro, who spoke that day, and they've inspired me every time. I've been back to that unit 2 more times. So when I tell that story about the hearts, they crank up. They crank up because that's their unit. And all the shrinks who saw me the first time, they still work there. So they remember that moment too. But the brothers get a kick out of hearing about the bro because they know the unit, bro. I don't know, if somebody came and talked to you, same with me and the shrinks, I go, why would I tell you anything? And as soon as you share a little bit of your heart, a little bit of your story, that sort of opens up the doorways for the bros to go, oh, I might listen a little bit more. Remember, they're just a reflection of us, bro.
Yeah.
And you're a blessing, David. You are a real blessing on this world. I just met you once and I already knew you're the real deal, bro.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, nah, reflection, brother. Same goes with me to you, my bro. I swear. I mean, I wanted you on straight away, bro. Once I really felt your cordial that day, brother. It was just it was mighty, brother. So I mean, what's the future looking like for you, brother, and what you're doing?
Well, bro, I want to go global. I want to help Indigenous cultures. I want to learn from Indigenous cultures what their ancient methodologies were for healing, physical, mental, spiritual. In the meantime, I just want to help anybody, bro. We only go when we're invited. It has to be a safe environment for everybody because we go into intense environments. But yeah, bro, it's just planting more seeds of hope and to meet people like yourself, David. So as I go around the country, parts of Australia, I'm trying to think of like, how can we increase the light? So collectively, as we're helping our communities, our families, that we're also refueling and learning from each other. That's the goal. I haven't figured it out how to do it properly yet, bro, but it's planting those seeds and keeping those fires of hope, those beacons of light on every hilltop around the country, so those in distress can see where the light is and walk towards it to get the help they deserve.
Beautiful, Mahi, brother. I swear, man. And that's what it exactly is, just increasing that light. You know, that's why I love, just like you, brother, meeting like-minded individuals. We're all sharing our light, man, and it's brighter together, that's for sure. Well, I mean, brother, we're sort of coming to the end here, my bro. So, I mean, do you sort of have any messages, brother, for any people that were where you were in life and are thinking of doing something crazy, or do you have any messages for them, brother?
I do, bro. And this is the message from my heart to yours. You're not alone. You are loved. You are worth more than you will ever realize. And we can't change the past, but we can change the present because you're goddamn worth it. And I mean that from my heart to your heart.
Beautiful, my brother Rob. Man, and that is so right. You know, we're all of value. Well, look, man, we're coming to the end here, brother. So again, Rob, thank you for sharing a bit of your story and a bit of your time. If you don't mind, I'll leave some links in the description if anyone would like to get a hold of you, bro, or would like to see what you're doing. Just check the description and the comments, and I'll leave a link for you. But you know, much love, brother, and have a good rest of the day. And we'll catch up soon anyway.
Hey, much love. God bless, bro. And you take care of your amazing self, please.
God bless, brother.